Hey everyone, James with Lenspiration here, and today I'm going to be shooting the, or should I say fulfilling the, latest Shoot to Serve photo assignment. Many different photos. Ziesmer Family Publishers really liked that first music video that we helped them put together. So they wanted to put together another music video. And so they need a bunch more photos. And so whoops. There we go. And so because we cannot photograph 14 different subjects for one assignment, we're going to go into our portfolio and see if our photos are organized well enough to be able to find all 14 of the subjects that the Ziesmer Family Publishers want. Now, you can find the 14 subjects that we're supposed to submit photos for in the link in the description below. And you're probably not going to have all 14 subjects already in your portfolio. And so therefore you will have to shoot some photos for the assignment to fulfill the entire assignment, all 14 of these subjects. But I thought it would be good to go into our portfolios, especially at this time of year, and just double check to see for ourselves, is our portfolio organized enough that I can go in and find the photos that I'm looking for? And how quickly can I find them? Does it take forever? Is it a laborious task? Or is it something that I can do quickly? I have not looked for these 14 subjects yet. I'm literally going to open my computer and look for them. So this is the test. This is the test to see if my photos are actually organized. I like to use Lightroom. And the reason I like to use Lightroom is because it is a digital asset manager. It allows me to organize my photos, create folders, put pictures in different folders, move them in and around folders, rename all of the photos, add tags to the photos, search all of those photos, making sure I can find my photos. But it also allows me to edit my photos. Now, the first photo I'm supposed to... What is the first photo? Here we go. Wheat field. Can I find a wheat field in my portfolio? Let's see. So I'm going to do a Control F, bingo, search wheat, and nothing comes up. And you know why? It's because I'm not searching all of my photos. Can you search all of your photos all at once? I'm going to click over here to select all photographs. But here is the first thing that you need to walk away with from this video, guys. Can you search all of your photos all at once? I can search the word wheat, and it appears as though I have some photos of wheat in here. Bang, look at this. There's some wheat berries. And now I have just some fields, but look at this. But how did Lightroom know to find the wheat fields? It doesn't have some sort of a AI sensing technology that allows it to kind of read fields. So what did it find? Did it find keywords? I do not have time for keywording my photos. It did not. Instead, it found a descriptive folder name. Regardless of what photo program you're using to edit and organize your photos, make sure to make a very descriptive folder name. Not picture names, but folder names. And the more descriptive your folder names are, the easier it is that you're going to be able to find your photos without having to do any keywording at all. But back to the wheat pictures. Which one is the best one? Filter based on rating? But that doesn't help me at all right now because guess what? I did not edit the wheat photos. I took them in the summer when I was busy, and usually it's over the winter time that I have more time to edit photos, but I didn't have time to edit my wheat photos. So I cannot sort them by rating. I'm going to have to go through and just find out which of these photos is the best. But I want you to pull something away from this fact. You need to search your unedited photos when you do your search. A lot of times, it'll seem like, oh, I'll just search my best photos, the ones that have been edited. I'll search those. But the reality is, then you're looking at just a very small amount of photos that you have. You do have to be able to search all of your photos so that you can find these pockets of unedited photos. And guess what? Today is the day to edit these photos because there's a reason to use these photos. Yep, narrow down to the very best one, and I'm going to use the same system for all of my folders. I have a system. This is what I do. This is how I do it. I look at the very first picture. This is my very first sweet photo right here, and I decide, do I want to keep it or do I not want to keep it? And if I don't know, or somewhere in between, then I just keep it. If I like it, I do want to keep it, then I give it a 1 star. That's the best thing to do. Now, is this a good photo? It's kind of blurry off in the background. I was focused right up here in the foreground. So I don't know if I really want to keep it because I don't know if it's the only photo that I have. And look at this. This one is sharp in the foreground and sharp in the background. So that is my 1 star photo. And I can go back to the other one and I can... I'm not going to quite delete it yet. I'm just going to go control down arrow, which is decrease the flag status. It kind of makes it this gray down here on the film strip. It allows me to not delete it immediately because they're, you just don't really, I don't like to delete them immediately. All right, so this is a nice one. I mean, this is it's not like super picturesque, but it's just, hey, it's a field. Okay, so I'm getting down real close. Now it's okay that the background is blurry because I'm starting to see some detail in the foreground, but all of those pieces of wheat stems there in the front are all blurry looking and nothing. Ooh, now that looks pretty nice. I'm going to give it a 1 star. And they're all kind of the same. I think I'm trying to find something I should have used. See this one wheat stalk right there that's really standing out? I should have tried to made sure that was in focus. I'm just going super wide angle, like bang, right on this wheat field. And I could take a long time. Hey, this is kind of a cool, looking down. There, that's filled in a little bit better. Getting horizontal and vertical of the same thing. Okay, now I do like it with the road better through the field. Now, this is distracting over here on the left. There we go. See how much more simple this is? I like that. I don't like how it includes as much sky, but that's okay. Now going off to the side. Just a lot of dirt road. I'm not liking that quite so much. A lot of sky, nothing really epic. That's better of the 3. Let's just keep going. There's a. I wonder if it would have been okay for me to continue walking forward to move this bush out of the picture. So I would have been beyond that little bush. It just draws so much attention, that big black bush right there on the left. I could Photoshop it out. And then off to the side. Yeah, it's not too terribly bad. I mean, it's got some interesting stuff out there in the future, out there in the distance. Here we go. See, look how I have now successfully removed those bushes and stuff. This is great. I like this one better. In fact, I'm going to give it a 2 rating because I really know that it's been one of the best of all that I've seen so far today. So now I'm going to sort by 1 star, and I've got, hey, here's some really good photos, but it's still a lot. I can only submit 1. So let's go here and be like, okay, let's knock it up another notch. Let's do 2 star or 3 star. Do I really like this one enough to submit it? Not really. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. And it needs to be horizontal. So, I really, this one right here, or maybe this one here are probably my favorites out of the bunch. this one here being dead on, that one's nice too. I'm going to go ahead and select those 3. Now, I'm going to leave these unedited. The 1 stars, I'm going to leave them unedited. If I come back, I've already sort of sorted through them. So I've already started the work, but I don't have time to really do a lot of detailed editing. So I'm going to sort now by 2 star. And now I've got these 3 photos I can take a little bit of extra time to edit. This just right here feels like a wheat field. So I'm going to develop this. The file could not be found. You know why the file could not be found? It's because the file is on an external hard drive, and that is the 4th thing that you want to take away from this. To keep your photos well organized, I highly suggest you keep your photos on an external hard drive separate off of your computer so that you can have as many photos as you want without slowing your computer down, without bogging it down. And I have got quite the stack of hard drives over here because I take a lot of photos. Now, you don't have to have as many as I do, especially since some of them are 1 terabyte and like 2 terabyte and stuff like that. This is on the K drive. That will give me permission to edit. There we go. Okay, so now I have ability to edit this photo because I'm accessing the actual raw image. I almost always start with a little crop or making sure that that horizon is straight, and then increase exposure, usually pulling back highlights for that sky, but I'm realizing that the sky really did have, I needed to keep exposure down to keep the texture in the sky. So shadows, not much to pull out in shadows. The thing that's needed in this photo is the contrast. So I'm pulling up the whites, pulling blacks to the left. Let's reduce contrast a little bit. There we go. And then increase the vibrance. Let's make the photo just appear more red. There we go. Okay, I'm getting this overall feeling, even though it's technically correct, I just get this overall feeling that it's kind of bland looking. I really want to pull out that sky. So I am going to increase exposure. Like, I like the exposure for the foreground. The foreground really needs to have this like bright look to it. And we're going to just make a linear gradient over the sky. And for the linear gradient, I'm going to use dehaze. Just really increase dehaze a lot in there. Now it looks a little fake, so I'm going to brighten up the photo even more and maybe increase saturation. I'm going to take the whites back down, and I will go ahead and add a little bit of a vignette. I am going to make it less blue. Let's make it real warm. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so then my final round of tweaks is to make sure that there's no dust bunnies anywhere in the photo. All right, my photo is ready to go. Now the question is, how do we submit these photos on Lenspiration? And the easy answer to that is just go to the membership portal. And you can scroll down and it gives us the recipe for submitting photos on Lenspiration. So let's walk through the process of submitting this one photo first. A, upload high resolution. Click here to upload an edited, non-watermarked high resolution photo if using Lightroom export as DNG and upload those. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to click here, and that will open up the location where I'm supposed to upload this high resolution file. I'm going to go in here and click export. Export is the term for that Lightroom uses for creating a new file. Now, why do I want to create a new file? The reason is because I do not want to submit the original file, that unedited ugly version that I started with today. I don't want to submit that one. I want to take that original file, the edits that I made in Lightroom, merge them together, and send that as my high-resolution edited DNG, or JPEG if you don't have Lightroom. Here we go, export to DNG. What folder? And this is where the 5th important thing is about editing your photos and organizing your photos. This is very important. Export to temporary folders. And let me show you why. I'm going to choose my desktop, and on the desktop, create a temporary DNG folder. That DNG I can send off to James, which I will do right away, right here. Here we go. Drag stuff here. Bang. And it starts uploading. Upload. And then what do I do next? After I've submitted it to James, do I need this photo? Am I going to use a DNG for anything else? Should I keep it and clutter up my computer? Absolutely not. So as soon as it is finished, I will delete this photo. And that's why I export to temporary folders, because those folders can be in random places and I can delete them and keep my computer very, very clean. Step B is to create a low resolution version. Create a small version of your edited photo, JPEG less than 8 megabytes, 1200 pixels longest edge recommended, and watermarks are fine. So let me go ahead and create a low resolution version in Lightroom. Exact same photo. I'm going to export this now and choose my desktop, but instead of temporary DNG, I'm going to create a new folder called temporary small JPG. Select that folder, make sure that everything is accurate. Say export. It is taking the original file, the edits that I made in Lightroom, merging them together and exporting them into this temporary folder of a small JPEG that is less than 8 megabytes in size. So I have created that low-res version, and now upload the low-res. Click here and navigate to the current assignment when you reply to the topic with the small JPEG version of your photo attached. So I click on this, and when I go to reply, I can say, this is my wheat field photo. Attach file, navigate to my desktop, temporary small JPEG. There it is. Open. I'm ready to submit. It's that simple. And as soon as I'm finished submitting, as soon as it's finished uploading, here we go, finished uploading, I can delete all of those photos and it doesn't make a difference. So that is the process for submitting the photos. And now we can move on to our second photo, a broken loaf of bread with a Bible. I wonder if I have any broken loaves of bread and a Bible in my portfolio. All photographs, search Bible. Wow. Not very many pictures of Bibles. Maybe it's because my filter is still on. Oops. Let me turn off my filter. There we go. So now I can see lots of pictures from the National Bible Bee. Here is a picture of a Bible I remember taking a long time ago on a journey to the heart. Wow, all kinds of photos. This must be because there was the word Bible in the name of the church for that wedding. But anything with a loaf of bread, I can't think of anything right off. And none of these photos are triggering my memory of something different. Yeah, lots of weddings at Bible churches. Nothing under Bible. Let's do bread. I wonder if I've taken any pictures of bread. A couple pictures of bread. Gingerbread. Now I've got a bunch of photos here that are missing previews. And so I might take some time to plug in some hard drives here. And now that those are loaded, nope, nothing with a Bible. So sometimes whenever you search old pictures, things will come back to mind that I had forgotten about. But in this certain scenario, nothing came up with a broken loaf of bread with a Bible. Sometimes, there'll be a random photo that you'll find, but not in my portfolio. So I'm going to jot it down to take a photo of a broken loaf of bread. But let's continue our search. There's a lot more photos to find. Number 3. Okay. There's a shell. Now that reminds me of that trip. Here is also something that looks like a shore. A rocky kind of shore. That could definitely work. This right here is a whole lot more picturesque. I like that photo. Okay, number 4, pages of Bible. I've already searched Bible, and I don't remember being able to find things very well searching just the word Bible. So I'm going to instead search based on location, because I am remembering right now a photo shoot I did with pages blowing in the wind of a Bible. One trait of a well-organized system is that you can search in multiple ways. And what I do is I make sure to include the location of each photo that I take, and I do that when I import the photos. It takes a little bit of extra time, but I know that it's very important because I can search based on location. USA, Virginia, I'm gonna say Culpeper, and then do a search for the word Bible at that location. See if it comes up with anything. Okay, so it did not come up with anything at all. So that means I'm going to have to do it by date. I have to remember in my mind, what time of year was it maybe? How many years ago do I think it was? And that in and of itself is another way to search. Sort by capture time, yeah. Okay. So let's do at the Wilkes family home. Okay, so it's not there, so let's do the unknown location. It wasn't that many years ago. I think it was after this. Yep, okay, so I cannot find where that is very interesting. I cannot find quickly that particular photo shoot that I did of the pages flipping in the wind. The only other thing that I can think of right now was I photographed it for RLJ Financial. Nope, there's nothing. Let me be a little more specific. Maybe pages instead of Bible. It's not the one I'm looking for. Let's do blowing in the wind. Nope. Let's do wind. Wow. Wind and wind. I'm going to go literally by date. I know that I took it in November because it was right around a Virginia Few conference. So I'm going to go, and I know it wasn't last year, and it was probably in 2018, maybe 2019. So let's go to 2019 November. Let's go back to 2018. Let's go to 2017. Okay, guys, I just found it. I finally found the picture of the Bible. And you know why I couldn't find it very easily? Take a look at the folder name, assignments. I am right now going to change this folder name so that I can find these photos again in the future. RLJ assignment of Bible pages blowing in wind. How's that sound? Now I will never have a problem finding these photos. And that's how it should be for you guys. I want you to be able to find your photos as quickly as possible. If you're not very well organized, I have 3 suggestions. Set yourself a reasonable goal, a scope for what you want to accomplish. Do you want to organize all of your photos tonight, today? That's a little bit unreasonable. Can you organize maybe just the current year's photos? What about just the past month photos? Maybe you should just need to draw a line and be like, I'm going to stay organized from today forward. Number 2, you must allot time to do your photo organization. It will not happen if you say, I'm going to do it, but never put any time for it on your calendar. Will you do it on Thursdays, 1 hour from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock? Or 10 minutes every single day? When are you going to work on it? And then number 3, determine your system and stick to it. Don't change the way you do your system every Thursday. Determine a system and stick with it. And I would recommend keeping these 6 different principles in mind. I have a lot more photos to find. I'm on number 5 at least. Now it's your turn to shoot this assignment. Details for the assignment are in the description below. You can find the pictures that I submitted for this assignment in the description below as well. And if you'd like to watch more videos like this, feel free to subscribe by clicking on my face. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned a lot. Keep learning with Lenspiration, and we'll see you next time.